No one is perfect. Not one. No one is. Not a single person in this world. We all have our mistakes. We all have our flaws. But the problem is sometimes we expect people to be perfect, even though that we know no one quite right is. Hey YouTube, this is Terrence Barker. You guys, welcome back. And this is about no one being perfect. No one is perfect. Not one. No one is. Not a single person in this world. We all have our mistakes. We all have our flaws. But the problem is sometimes we expect people to be perfect, even though that we know no one quite right is. And how dare us? How dare us put the image of perfection on someone else? Because if the image of perfection was placed upon us, we couldn't live up to it. No one can. And this video is coming from a humble place because that's how life kind of is. It humbles you the older you get. And that's what I've been kind of finding out. And I've been realizing this because now I am a father. I'm a father and I'm a grown man. And I'm starting to look back at things and starting to realize, how I myself have been guilty of putting this image of perfection upon people. And case in point will be my own father. Not that I wasn't angry for a justifiable reason, because I was. But I was wrong for the image that I put up on him. So let's go back in time a little bit. When I was young, like many of us, that come from small trouble background. Our fathers or our parents are our hero. My dad was invincible. He was a man of all men. He was the greatest a man could be. I used to compare my dad against other dads like other people used to do. And, he was the best thing that you could be and what I inspired to be. I used to walk duck-footed like my dad, because that's how I thought you had to do it, not knowing that that was something that was brought on to him from being years into the military, that he had walked with his feet pointed out this way. I just thought that was like the coolest thing. So I just tried to walk and talk like him, and he was like the man to me, And then later on, my dad started to check out. And I didn't understand why. And I was fighting for the hero that I seen back in the day. I was fighting for the man that used to play catch with me and play ball with me in the front yard, or sit up and, pick me up from school, or eat cereal with me and let me get the prize first. The little frisbee out of the Frosted Flake box. And fall asleep on the couch because he said he was just resting his eyes. You know what I'm saying? And I was fighting for that guy, but I didn't know that guy was still there, but the voice in him became more quiet. Reason being is because, like all of us do, and all adults do, is we start going through some things. Time starts hitting us. And what I didn't know at the time was the situation and how much of a burden it was upon him. He just recently got through a divorce. He was in debt. His mother was, terminally ill, and also at the same time, he had kids in two different locations. I was with him, and my sister was with my mom. And his brother was running the streets and on drugs and had kidney failure, while he was taking care of a household of about 8 kids and had a sick father at the same time. I didn't know the burden of those things. And this was happening to my dad while all in his 30s. And me being a kid, I couldn't comprehend on why he was so tired and checked out. Didn't understand that. But now when I look back at it, I was like, man, to be battling with all that in your 30s, man. In your 30s. Both parents, you're taking care of your brother, and you have this debt, just got out of a divorce, and you're taking care of 8 kids, man. You're going to all the games, you're cooking, you're cleaning from dusk till dawn, then you go to work and cook and clean. No wonder why you're frustrated sometimes. But as a kid, selfishly, all I could is just see my hero. And that is my point today. Sometimes we have these childhood traumas, and we heighten them more than what they should be. Like me, yeah, my dad was wrong. My dad and I had a trouble past. My dad used to take his frustrations out sometimes on me. He used to come home, beat my butt, Sometimes I couldn't even walk straight, and that was wrong, But at the same time, now that I could see the overall picture, I could see that he was a good man in a bad situation. And sometimes us as children or teenagers or whatever, we expect perfection, and we don't understand that we are flawed in some ways. We don't make room for the imperfections, and now that I have a daughter, and me, I'm battling some of my own stuff. Hopefully, in the future, in this video, she can make room for me. And hopefully I can inspire somebody else not to try to cancel other folks, but try to understand folks. What my dad was going through does not make excuses for his mistakes. But what it does do is paint a broader picture that one can understand. If I was in that situation, I don't even know if I could have stood up and dealt with all those problems, to be honest with myself. I probably would have been out drinking, spacing out myself. Sometimes we have to look at things from a broader brush and not inspect the perfection that we have in our heads. Now I'm learning my father is one of the strongest men I ever met. Why? Because he may not be strong physically. And yes, sure, he came in this life frail and small. And right now, he's a little frail and small himself. And in the middle, he was big and bold, and that's what the image I had in my head. But spiritually and mentally, that guy is a tank. That guy's hulked out, man. That guy could take things that most men cannot, and most men will run from. He's been taking care of families and friends. And that is at the heart of him. And I can only aspire to be half the man that he is today. I am glad and proud to be his son, because I know what it is today to take care of family. Alright guys, now I might sound kind of mushy and everything, but this is something that is kind of needed. I seen this when we were at the barbecue, man, and how much he lit up, and just the service and cooking all the food that he did. He cooked almost everything except for like the pie and the salads, macaroni salad to be exact. But man, when he seen his brother and his family members and cousins and everything out there, man, that guy was just so happy. And he takes pride in his service, and seeing his grandbabies there, he was just in his zone. And that's something that we all don't always see. We don't take the time to walk in other people's shoes to understand them. Yeah, they may make mistakes, but that's okay. Because if we were to put that mirror back on you, would you be able to still stand and be proud? A lot of us wouldn't. A lot of us couldn't hold on. Alright guys, I'm out. This is I Am My Family's Keeper, and peace.